Hello, everybody. The shorthanded Warriors come back from 23 points down. The Warriors began the game with a base defense. In the case where Damian Lillard does not have the ball, the Warriors have someone guarding him and just trying to do everything that you can to prevent the pass from coming to him. By shadowing his movements, they often call this face guarding. It's how the Celtics defended Steph Curry in Game 5 of the Finals. Here, Donte DiVincenzo sees Eubanks is coming to set a pin down for Dame. Also now he swivels himself to try to prevent Dame from using the screen. He seals their relationship in by holding his arm like a gentleman. Dame points, saying, okay, forget about the pin down and go get that ball. Eubanks gets the ball. Donte DiVincenzo is doing everything he can to stop Dame from coming to take the pin down. Dame tries the stab and then flaring back out, but Donte reacts pretty quickly. Seems a little early on the clock to give up on this, but he just says, I'm going to go for the running hook shot, which just barely clanks off the rim. So what happens if Dame just starts with the ball? Here's good old Eubanks setting a pick, and the Warriors just defend these pick and rolls with Dame by blitzing him. Draymond's going to come. Donte's going to come. On this play, Damian anticipates this. Eubanks slips the screen. Damian with a nice little bounce pass. That leaves Draymond playing catch up, and that means Jordan Poole has to rotate. Otherwise, Eubanks will lumber his way in for a dunk. That means Poole's man can slip behind him on the baseline. Poole does a pretty good job contesting this, just bothering him enough to make this bank shot an adventure. Next play, same coverage. Eubanks sets the screen on the other side. Donte DiVincenzo is going to follow hard. Kevon Looney is going to double team Dame. Since the Warriors have been playing this defense all game, Portland has counters. Eubanks does a short roll. If he hurries, this is going to be a 4-on-3. Klay is here and ready to guard Eubanks. I don't think he's really a threat out here. And even if he does try to drive on Klay, I don't think it's an obvious help situation. Jordan Poole, he's sagging way off his man, and for some reason even takes a step all the way into the paint, which leaves his man completely open. When the Warriors are not playing a special defense, then for these middle pick and rolls, the Warriors try to play ice, where you try to force the ball handler away from the screen. Looney has to be here so that the ball handler gets forced into his loving arms. So DiVincenzo seems to be playing ice. Looney seems to, in anticipation that Donte will drive Damian towards the screen, and then Looney and Donte will trap him as usual. So some kind of mix up here, and Dame says, thank you very much, I'm just going to go straight to the basket. So at the next stoppage, the Warriors switch to a zone defense. You can tell it's a zone by looking at how they guard Thibault over here. He's cutting across. If this was man-to-man, then Draymond would definitely want to follow him. Instead, as Thibault leaves Draymond Landia, Draymond just hands him off to Kevon Looney to cover. Portland is anticipating the Warriors continuing to blitz Damian, so they're countering by having Damian set the screen. But the ball handler realizes even if everything goes perfectly, I'm going to turn the corner and Draymond Green is just going to be sitting here. What is he doing there? He's not even guarding anybody. So he says, that's not an advantage to drive this way. Let's swing it over here. There seems to be a 3-on-2 on that side. This is probably not the best way to attack the zone, though. Eubanks drives right towards Draymond, who's number one, previously not covering anybody, and number two is Draymond. Poole with a little unnecessary help, but Draymond cleans it up by switching back, and Reddish trying to feed it to Eubanks, but instead he feeds it right to the Warriors. We see how devoted Donte DiVincenzo is to face guarding Damian Lillard. Donte is going to sneak himself around and deny the inbound coming to Damian. So Donte continues to be Damian Lillard's best friend, and the rest of the Warriors are playing this 2-2 zone, often called a box and one. The Blazers put two men, so Klay is guarding this guy and guarding this guy, and then this player can drive into the gap in the zone. Eubanks also wants to get into the gap in the zone, so that crowds this drive. So he just hoists up this contested mid-range air ball. The Warriors next play settle back into their box, and Donte being Dame's BFF. There is a gap at the top of the key for this box and one because it's between these two defenders. So it's super tempting just to shoot over the top of the zone. But if you do that, you have to hit it. After the TV timeout, the Blazers come out. This looks to me like a play meant to counter the box and one. Dame stepping up to screen. Eubanks is going to flash to the soft spot in the box, but the Warriors throw a monkey wrench into everything because you might notice they're not anywhere close to a box, and they are back to man defense. Eubanks flashing to this supposedly soft spot, but now it's not so soft, so he pivots into a quick pick and roll. Eubanks looks like he's going to set a screen here, and Dame will take it this way. So Draymond is anticipating Poole will follow over the top, and then he's going to jump out here to stop Dame. And you can see him even come to a jump stop on this side. Eubanks cleverly changes the angle of his screen so Dame can go the other way. Poole tries to force a switch onto Eubanks because he'd much rather have Draymond defending Dame. And Dame can see the writing on the wall, so he's just going to fire it from near the logo. Now, Damian is a great long-distance shooter, but maybe you don't mind if he's just hoisting logo shots all day. So then after the next stoppage, the Warriors switch back to the box and one. You can tell it's a zone because Poole is just guarding this general area, and he lets Nasir Little just run by him and does not attempt to follow him. The Blazers seem discombobulated by this quick return to the box and one, and so Eubanks goes back to the idea of flashing into the soft spot in the zone. I guess Shaedon Sharpe is supposed to come up to the wing here as a release or something. Anyway, Damian Lillard is so discombobulated by the unexpected defense that his pass to the wing pegs a minority shareholder. For the first time all year, the Warriors showed a whole bunch of different defenses. The defensive flexibility was a huge part of beating Luka Doncic and the Mavericks in last year's playoffs. So it's really good to see them practicing more intense defensive schemes for stars. Let's wrap up with a quick celebration audit. Jonathan Kuminga drops this dunk. Let's see how the bench dealt with this turn of events. Patrick Baldwin Jr. putting his hand on his head in the time-honored gesture. And GP2 over here, you know, he tends to add a little scratching on the heads, kind of turning into a question like, Monsieur Kuminga, did you really just drop a nuclear-powered basketball on top of that poor person's cranium? And on the back here, we have Steph, Jordan Poole, and Donte DiVincenzo. Let's see what they're up to. They are in action position. Steph, he's in this position, and Jordan Poole is here with his arms out like this. So depending on how you interpret it, it's either a I'm blown away backwards or a hold me back from storming the court. That was so thrilling. They're all kind of stuck in this superposition of fear and wonder. And I have to give extra credit to PBJ. He is really holding the follow through. He's been holding that dunk on your head salute. He might have been so awed by the spectacle that he may be frozen in shock. Admirable commitment to the bit. Maybe this is drifting into medically concerning territory.